What's going on YouTube? Back in the video today. Got a really exciting video. But first of all, I want to say sorry for the last video, the Mac Pro power supply video. That video seemed kind of rushed, and I really apologize if it really didn't offer as much information as it seemed. I just finished watching it, and it really seemed kind of half-baked, so I may be taking that video down depending on what the views do. But anyway, the purpose of today's video, I'm just going to be talking about my new MacBook Pro and my old MacBook Pro. So, starting with this guy, I got this about a year ago. About a year ago. I think as of last week, I've had it for a year. I upgraded from another 15-inch MacBook Pro, a 2009 15-inch with a 3.6 gigahertz or 3.06 Core 2 Duo, and I sold that. I wanted to get a 17-inch. I found this for a good deal. Picked it up. Had a couple pressure spots in the screen, which is okay. Doesn't really affect the use too much. And yeah, I haven't really done much to it. It has a 120 gig SSD in it. It had RAID 0 SSDs, but honestly, the performance wasn't that great. It was like the performance of one single SATA 3 SSD, so it was kind of pointless, honestly. But I did it, and it was cool for a while. Then I decided to use the SSD for something different, and I'm gonna sell it. What happened with this machine was I was eating breakfast one time, and I spilled coffee on it. Coffee got all over the keyboard, a little bit into the trackpad, created this nasty coffee-smelling crust around it, and I basically couldn't use it. Couldn't use it without a keyboard and mouse, that is. It's just been basically sitting behind me at my desk. It's been sitting adjacent from my monitor, just sitting there acting as a Wi-Fi hotspot, I guess. I'm running Ethernet out of this to my Mac Pro because my PCIe slots are taken, and I haven't bought a Bluetooth 4.0/Wi-Fi AC card yet, so that is definitely coming soon. But enough rambling. I'm retiring this, selling it for parts, whatever I can get for it, I'm going to get for it. Hopefully I get a cool, $175, maybe $200 for it. Not really expecting too much. Yeah, I mean, it's, I can't really use it. Can't really take it with me anywhere unless I want to bring a keyboard and mouse, which I do not want to do. So, how I got this machine was I was looking on Craigslist. I'm always looking on Craigslist for parts, computer parts, cheap. And I saw this. This was listed with no price on it. He was saying the GPU was dead. It wouldn't boot up. The Craigslist listing had a picture of the machine itself with a little question mark error, a little Mac OS question mark, no OS found error. So I messaged the guy. I said, hey, I'm interested in the computer. How much do you want for it? And he was like, oh yeah, I want $300 for it. I was like, are you kidding me? It's a broken MacBook Pro. He didn't really know much about it. He just said he needs it for parts. I was like, look, man, I'll give you $175 for it. And he took it. He was like, yeah, sure. Like, yeah, I can pick it up today. And I got it. So yeah, I'm gonna get a different camera angle, show you the specs of the machine, how I got it for so cheap, what exactly I did to fix it, what was wrong with it. And yeah. Alright, so here is the MacBook Pro I was talking about. This is a late 2011 MacBook Pro. I can go ahead and zoom in. How can you guys see that? Has a 2.2 gigahertz Intel Core i7. It is a quad core. 8 gigs of 1333 megahertz RAM. Going to be upgrading that. It has a 120 gig SSD in it, and it has Intel HD Graphics 3000 with half a gig of RAM. So, when I went and bought the thing, we met in the back of some kind of restaurant or whatever, and I basically booted into recovery right away and just make sure everything was, the core of the machine was functioning as it should, and which it was. The guy was telling me, he works in IT, he doesn't really work on Macs, he gets these things all the time. So, I was like, yeah, definitely, message me when you get more broken Macs, I'll see if I can't fix them. So, in order to get this thing working, I had to disable the AMD graphics card, which was the culprit of it not booting. It is dead. Nothing I can do about that. Whatever. It is what it is. It's cheap. It's $170 for a quad i7 MacBook Pro. Are you kidding me? So, what I did was reinstall macOS. I installed a copy of, I think it was macOS El Capitan on this machine. I got stuck because I couldn't figure out a way to disable, I think it's rootless or SIP, System Integrity Protection or something like that. Figure out a way to get that off until I realized you had to have the operating system, configured properly, and It was a whole long spiel. Hours of research. I found this code. It was like perfectly the first time. I got it up and running, and now here we are. Upgraded to High Sierra pretty much right away. This is actually my first, well, not first. It's one of my first supported MacBook Pros. I've never had a MacBook Pro more recent than 2009. I've had so many 2009 MacBook Pros, it's ridiculous, but I think I've had like 3 so far. And this is my first, semi-recent Mac. So, I've already tried doing RAID 0 SSDs. It doesn't work. There's SSD interference with the SATA port or the data doubler, whatever. I can show you, probably put a video or a picture of me trying to install RAID 0 SSDs in there. But, it just wasn't working. It read both SSDs, but it wasn't working correctly. Like, it was RAID 0, and it was installed, but it was just so many issues with it. The idea of RAID 0 SSDs, it just didn't work. And the speeds were poor anyway, so I'm just leaving it as one SATA 3 SSD, and it reads and writes about almost 500 megabytes a second, so it's pretty good for what it is. So yeah, I'm going to be using this as my main laptop now for pretty much until I get a Retina MacBook Pro. I do have some plans for this MacBook Pro. I do want to upgrade the display, which I have ordered. It should be here in about 3 to 4 weeks. I had ordered a matte high-resolution display for this thing, so definitely going to upgrade that. Get a high-res display on there. I'm really, 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 really excited to dig into this machine. I haven't really done much with it yet, except for getting up and running. It took like 3 days, or like 2 days to get it up and running for me to figure it out. I definitely want to get the high-resolution display on here with the anti-glare coating on it. Get some benchmarks ran on it. I mean, it's awesome. It's going to be an awesome MacBook Pro. If I can go ahead and go here to activity monitor, and I can see alright, so as you can see here, if I zoom in, that is 4 cores and 4 threads, fully quad core i7. It's been crazy because I've always wanted a quad i7 MacBook Pro. I didn't really think I'd be able to get one for this cheap, but I have it now. It's up and running. I'm really excited to put this thing through its paces, see what it can do. Unfortunately, can't use the AMD dedicated graphics card, but whatever. I've heard the AC graphics is just fine. And yeah, I just wanted to introduce you guys to my new latest Craigslist purchase, I guess, whatever you want to call it. My new main machine. Well, not my new main machine, my new main MacBook Pro. I got some plans for this machine. I want to upgrade the display on it. I want to get some more RAM in it. So maybe I'll make some, make some extra videos on it. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments. Probably put a poll up here. Maybe, maybe not. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.